Great, thank you very much, everyone. It is an honor to be here tonight. To Randy, to Brita, to Russ, to Dr. Kirby, and to the University of Manitoba Volleyball Dynasty. It is a huge honor to be mentioned alongside all of you. And as a family, we were always encouraged by our parents, and they also taught us the importance of gratitude. And for this honor, I am truly thankful. And this has provided an incredible opportunity to reflect. And this is the furthest thing from an individual recognition. This is shared with all of you that have been a part of this journey. So thank you for all of your support. To my friends, when I think back to some of my favorite moments, do you remember December of 1997? And I had been given some very good news in Calgary, where we were training with the national team. And the only people I'd shared the good news with at that point were my parents and my brother Jason. And I had a couple days off. I flew back to Winnipeg. And I went to your doors in Wildwood Park and Fort Garry and St. Vital and knocked on each of your doors so that when you opened the door, I could share the news with you that I had been named to the Olympic team. And for me, that was the moment that was fulfilling, to have the opportunity to share that moment with all of you, because you were the reason why I first started playing the sport of hockey. And when I think about trips to and from school, and I think about team sports, schools events, badminton championships, recess lunch breaks, trips to the lake, softball games, there was evidence of our blue and pink uniforms. I thought cross-country ski time. Brita, I also loved the sport of cross-country skiing and trying the sport of hockey together for the first time. Our storm turquoise jerseys, our first tournament away in Minnesota. And even your presence at the Vancouver Olympics in 2010. And it took me a few minutes to find you in the crowd at the end of the game, but you were there, and that was so meaningful for me. And I think about our conversations. I know life is busy and demanding, but it's still our chats, your messages after we have intense debates on Hockey Night in Canada are the messages that I treasure. So thank you for always being there, and your friendship is always close to my heart and will be forever. To my coaches, to Blair Shapansky and Jim Headley that are here, that taught us so much at a young age about working hard and playing with a little edge, and that was okay. And I think about the number of days we spent on outdoor rinks, and your commitment to making sure that we were improving. And you taught us great habits for the rest of our lives as athletes and as people. And so thank you for your dedication to us. When I think about school phys ed teachers and coaches, many of them from St. John's Ravenscourt School, including Rod Lindquist, Fred Stevenson, Ange Wilson, Henry Verbeek, they all helped us to love sports and created great team environments. I think about winning a volleyball championship in Flin Flon. I think about track and field, basketball rival games that we had against St. Mary's in the city, and soccer tournaments. I think about badminton tournaments, Coach Raj that we shared at Wildwood Schmaj. We had some great moments there, learning to embrace the nerves and excitement of competitive environments. Murray, thank you for your nomination and the time that you spent on this. I think of those days in the gym and the time we spent in the sport of basketball and how much I loved that sport. There was a phase I was trying to decide what I wanted to pursue, if it was basketball or hockey. And I'm so grateful for your support, so thank you, Murray. Bernie Reichart and all of Hockey Manitoba, thank you for welcoming me into the sport and for the association for allowing me to pursue competitive opportunities. It was instrumental in me making the Olympic team at 18 years old. I think about Jill Mathey, our first Storm coach, and I think she taught us about teamwork. And hockey quickly became my favorite sport when I started playing on that team. I think about Cliff Wertak for the Canada Winter Games. The theme we had that year was to never have to say, I wish I would have. And that is something that I think about to this day, of not having any regrets. I think about Communities, schools, teachers, Miss Burrows at St. John's Ravenscourt in terms of the love of academics and math classes that was important for me at Harvard. And I think about the media here in Manitoba supporting me throughout my playing career and to this day with opinions that I voice on Hockey Night in Canada that are sometimes different than the show had heard for many decades before that. Think about Polly Craik supporting the World Championships here, the Chipman family that was always there and supporting the women's game in every possible way. Thank you to all of my teammates, and I think about the friendships on provincial teams and national teams, whether it's sports and teams in Wildwood and Fort Garry for Team Manitoba, Harvard, and Team Canada. I think about Sammy Jo Small, fellow Manitoban. I was an opponent of hers in high school sports. I knew of her because she'd played against my brother Jason in hockey. But I thank her for making the national team journey such a special one because there were days and moments that were demanding and exhausting, but it was her personality that helped us through so many of those moments. Sammy and I, our families just celebrated Thanksgiving last month, and we think about moments where we were roommates for Olympic seasons to talking about her daughter's birthday just a few days ago. So I'm always grateful for the friendship that Sammy Jo provided. I also want to recognize Sammy's career and the number of other outstanding female hockey players from the sport of Manitoba. I want to appreciate the career that Susie Ewan had playing at the World Championships in 1990 and paving the way for all of us. To recognize Delaney Collins, Jocelyn Larocque, Kristen Campbell, Bridget Laquette, Bailey Bram, Ashton Bell, Hallie Kozaniak, Janelle Kohanchuk, and Sammy Jo. That all of them, congratulations. Not every girl has to play hockey now, but for many of these athletes, they played a huge role in making sure that it's now a choice. Yes, thank you to all of them. Entering the Hall of Fame, following my family, is something that is very special to my heart. To join my mom, my dad, my Aunt Donna, my Uncle Bob, and my Grandpa McCannell. They have all been a tremendous inspiration for me. And to all of my family, my cousins, aunts, uncles, the LaMonaco family, and all extended family. When I think about outdoor hockey games over the holiday season, whether it was at the farm or the Wildwood Community Club, we'd always play hockey first, but we always have some time at the end where they'd turn their sticks over and we'd have a little react game at the end of it as well. I think about card games in Grandma McCannell's basement and orange peel fights that she was so upset about with us. After 8 mint chocolates, and whether it was trips to the Botterill farm or those trips to Grand Beach with the McCannell family. And I think about family was always there at every championship and every game. To my grandparents, I was fortunate to spend a lot of time with my grandparents at a young age. For my grandfathers, for the poise and strength that they showed. And when I wore number 7 for my first experience with Team Canada, it was the number that Grandpa Botterill had worn, and he showed me his jersey when I first got back from the Olympics. To the grandmas that showed us joy and energy, I remember they both came down to watch me play in Minnesota, and to see their smiling faces and get a hug from them after the game was the absolute best. And the energy that they both sang happy birthday with into their 90s was absolutely remarkable, a true inspiration. To my brother Jason, he has always provided such motivation for me. He's over in Europe for a couple of weeks, so it was a tough commute to get back to Winnipeg for today. But we played basement hockey in Wildwood Park. We played street hockey. And for me, seeing him play for Canada was the moment where it really struck a chord for me to say that I would love to be in that position someday, wearing a Team Canada jersey. And I think for Jason now, whether he was leading teams to the Stanley Cup, he's always shown me what could be accomplished. And I think the respect that Jason has earned across the hockey world is very clear. And Jason's always been there for the biggest moments, the international competitions, and conversations when I first entered the broadcasting world. He showed me at every point it was never about the personal recognition. Jason was constantly fulfilled by elevating his teammates and everybody around him. And Jason continues to be a leader in every way. To my parents, Ron, I promise I'm wrapping up if I'm going too long. But to my parents, for your unconditional support. I think I still run into people who took your classes or were a part of the schools or the universities that you guys taught at. And I think about both of you and being there at every stage of my life and my career. Mom, from a young age, seeing your pictures up when we were over at Grandma's for every holiday meal, to see what you had accomplished at such a young age. I remember trying on your speed skating uniforms, and for me, I dreamt about somehow following in your footsteps one day, to have the chance to represent our country. And I think about whether it was a laugh cry that we shared, or a hug, or a call to talk things through. I think the time that you spent with us at every age, the attention to detail, healthy snacks for us, cut up grapes were a hit for all the friends, but little details that, Mom, you were there for me, and to this day, you inspire me every day for the parent and the mother that you are. Dad, I think about how many people you motivated in your career, the number of athletes that you have helped to reach their full potential. And I think about the one conversation we had when I was 15, and you said, well, why not you? If someone else can be there, why can't it be you? And I think I was fortunate to soak up many of your lessons from a young age, whether it was imagery or visualization or making sure that you set your dreams high enough for yourself. And reminding me, even when moments are tough, when I was playing or to this day on the broadcast of NHL games, to remember there's always more magic inside of you. So I think about conversations when I first called you to share the joy that I had made an Olympic team, or I think of moments when I needed to chat, where I'd had tough feedback or moments of disappointment or frustration. But I think all of it comes back to growing up in Wildwood, taking those pucks down to the end of the street on the rink. And I think about communication. That's what it always was for our family, to show us what the options were, and we could talk through what decisions made the most sense for us, but you were always there to explore it for us. And I think for Mom and Dad, you always believed in me, and you still believe in me, and you taught me to believe in myself. So Mom and Dad, I love you very much, and you're constantly an inspiration for both Adrian and I. Maya, Brooklyn, and Willow, you bring such joy to every day. I admire your energy, your caring nature, and your beautiful personalities. We love exploring fun choices with you, and we share in your excitement for all that you do. Your grandparents encouraged us to pursue excellence in all that we do, and we see that in you, in your dedication to your school, your sports, your activities, and your friendships. And it's now amazing to see things through your eyes and your love for sports. And just a few years ago, I did a little program called Battle of the Blades, and you shared some very good advice with me. You three girls told me to keep having fun during that show. And so I hope that you continue to do just that. Continue to believe in yourselves. We love you. And life with you is the ultimate dream come true every single day. I love you guys so much. Adrian, my super husband, my soulmate, I love you. When I think about the journey in sport, I am most grateful that our paths led us to each other. And thank you for this life together. You make me so happy that my heart is always full with you. And so thank you for your constant understanding, our time together, and our family adventure. Adrian, I love you. Finally, an important moment in this journey was a smile that appeared through my helmet cage on the Wildwood community rink. This was a smile that my parents took notice of, and I am still smiling to this day because of all of you. So Manitoba, you provided the foundation for choice and an understanding of what could be possible. So thank you for this journey together. I'm honored. Thank you very much.